Alright, so I'm going to take a look at the park and brake cable. And here is the cable that comes out of the firewall from the cab to this lever right here, which goes down, turns, and is connected to this cable right there. That's the cable that goes towards the back of the car, right there. Alright, and here's the cable right here, going toward the back of the car, through the X member on the frame. After it goes through the X member, it's connected to this bracket right here, where it can be adjusted to take any slack out of the forward part of the cable, and then it connects to this lever right here that pivots. Okay, and here's the lever where it comes through the frame back into the center of the car behind the X member. And this is the transition point where it goes from a single cable to a dual cable, with each one of these going to one of the rear wheels. And I've already disconnected that since I've had the rear end out, so I'm just going to disconnect this piece right here and service the cable from this point back. Alright, so here's the rear portion of the handbrake cable. Just laying it out on the ground to see what I got. Everything seems to be symmetrical. Everything is, both sides are the same length. I did wire together the two-piece bracket on the driver's side just because I want to make sure I put that back on the driver's side. There is a little bit of damage to the outer cable right there, but the inner cable works just fine, so I'm not really too worried about that. And like I said, they're the same length. Everything lays out symmetrical. The only difference I see is these two insulators that protect it against a rubbing point on the frame seem to be located in a slightly different position, and that's why I want to make sure I put it back in the same way it came out. Okay, and again, this is the driver's side, and the two plates act like a clamp and actually clamp the outer casing here to the backing plate, and there is a gasket in between them. And the gasket is made of felt. So I wire wheeled all of these pieces the best I could, and now I'm just scrubbing them down with some blue dishwashing liquid to get the grease off. And then when I'm done, I'll be able to spray some cable lube down into this part here and make sure everything's freshly lubricated. So these boots are in excellent condition, not brittle at all, still plenty of elasticity. Cleaned them up, should be fine. Okay, so when you go to reinstall the park and brake cable into the backing plate on the brakes, you've got your two halves of the retainer, and they are different. You can see here they are together without the gasket, and you can see that the inner retainer half is shaped like this, and the outer retainer half is shaped like this. So really only goes in one way. And the best thing to do is to go ahead, put the gasket in place, and put the bolts through it. And then I'm gonna have to get under the car here to insert it through the back side of the backing plate. Gotta push this spring back, hold it out of the way. And again, I put a little light coat of brake grease on all these components that are not painted. And making sure the star lines up with the slot in the backing plate, the access slot. Let that sit there for a second. And then the parking brake strut. And then put the push rods in the correct position. Alright. And then the hold downs. And springs. All right. And again, a little bit of light sandpaper. Make sure there's no grease on the cheese. Alright, so I guess that's about it for now.